let's talk about auto and the kind of price cuts that's been reigning in the auto industry as players now look to pass on the benefit of GST rate cuts to buyers. From Tata Motors, M&M to BMW, Mercedes-Benz, major players have announced cuts of anywhere between 90,000 rupees to 11 lakh rupees per unit. When will these start to trickle in and who will bear the burden? Shrishti is jumped up to the wall and giving us a roundup of all that's happening within autos with regards to price cuts post GST rationalization.
Well, yes, we are catching you live from the SBI Live studios, and with respect to autos, a very interesting announcement coming in, and as expected, the companies have announced their price cut. Across the board, we have seen the price cut announcements starting from M&M. The price cuts as high as 1.6 lakhs across the model that we have seen. That will be applicable from 6th of September itself, and that's a very interesting move and a bit of a standout versus some of the other peers as well. Take a look at Tata Motors passenger vehicle division. Discounts as high as 1.6 lakhs across the range is what we have seen. Commercial vehicle too will have discounts up to 4.6 lakhs across segments. Hyundai Motors up to 2.4 lakh across models. It is Toyota as well, where discounts range as high as 3.5 lakhs. And along with that, some of these luxury car makers have also come out with their discounts and announcements on that. And that is ranging to BMW India, where the price cuts are as high as 11 lakhs, and even Mercedes-Benz up to 11 lakhs on select models is the price cut, is what these companies have announced. So across the board, we have seen the price cut announcements, definitely on the expected lines, but interesting to note that select companies like M&M, they are pushing the price cuts even before the effective date of 22nd of September. But the question remains that who will bear the burden if the price cuts are applicable before the 22nd of September. As per our chats with the dealers and the analysts, we do get to understand that it's the OEMs as well as the dealers that will share the kind of the price cuts that have been announced, and that is with respect to the compensation cess adjustments, because do remember the inventory that is still lying with the dealers already had that compensation cess factor, and that has to be adjusted, which will not be done after 22nd of September. And in order to clear and liquidate that inventory, this step is being taken, which is indeed very positive at this point in time. So a whole host of price cuts announcement by the auto companies, but the question remains, what happens to compensation cess?
Yes, lots of questions, and who better than Mr. Vigneshwar, President FADA, joining in on the show right now to answer exactly all of that. Vigneshwar, great to have you today in ET Now. Thank you for your time as always. First, let's talk about series of these price cuts. And, you know, like my colleague as well was just highlighting, who bears the burden?
The burden seems to be on us right now, and it's extremely unfair. To start off with, I think this is a big bang reform, and it's visionary in its implications. I would like to thank all the GST Council members along with the central government to come up with this. I think it's great for the midterm and the long term. Short term, we have a lot of questions. The biggest question is cess. The cess was supposed to be paid by the end user, and it really it defies my belief on why a channel where I'm a dealer, I'm a channel partner, and why I should be able to I should be bearing this cost. So right now, we've been writing to the government. We've been talking to the government to look into this matter, because it's more than 2,500 crores and upwards. So the issue is we can't bear those losses. It's just too much. It's too big. There would be a big bang reform like this. We need to start running. I mean, off the blocks. We can't go on a limb. So the financial implications are going to be quite difficult for us as dealers to take. Some manufacturers have come forward and trying to help us out and try to understand how we need to work this out. But right now, there's no clarity available. We are talking with the government, as I mentioned before, and hopefully some clarity and help comes for us from the government side.
So, Vigneshwar, what is the solution to this? Because from what we understand, for instance, Mahindra & Mahindra has already, come up and said that they're going to share costs with the dealers. Is that the only solution in sight, that auto companies want to sort of, share the burden with the dealers?
I really appreciate some companies who have actually come forward and who are trying to share the burden with the dealers. I think is a great way to go, but not every company has come forward, which means that the dealers need to bear the brunt of this compensation cess, which I think is extremely unfair. We've been talking about 21 days inventory in FADA for the last more than a year. And manufacturers have been dumping vehicles on us, which have gone to 55 days, in certain cases, up to 3 months. So we are not the ones who ask for the stock. The manufacturers have put the stock on us. So the onus also is on them to take the burden, the majority of the burden on this, of the stock and the cess available, therefore, and help the dealers out.
Okay, well, the compensation cess, of course, is an uncertainty, Vigneshwar, on your books. You think what would help the dealers is also to be liquidating the stock, given that now there are price cuts as well, which will only make it more attractive?
Some manufacturers have come forward for doing that price cuts, but even when we're going to sell these vehicles off, the question remains at whose cost? Do we make losses sort of selling vehicles? We are all here to make profits. We are businessmen, we are running businesses, and we're not here to make losses. And these are unfair losses, which both the government, the industry, the OEMs need to work with us and find amicable solutions. Where I well appreciate that for the customer, the costs are coming down. These are taxes which I've already paid for the government. And at the end of the day, the government said the end user needs to pay for it. And right now, I'm holding on to stock and asking me to bear the cost, our members to bear the cost. It doesn't seem fair.
So what has happened so far, Vigneshwar? As an industry body, have you guys put any formal proposal to the government yet?
We have written to the government, we have written
Okay.
to the different ministries, the finance minister, we have written to the heavy industries minister, we've also written to the commerce minister. Additionally, we've also written to the MORTH, and all the ministerial staff are in touch with us. We've been talking to them. I think the cabinet secretary has called for a meeting of all the secretaries tomorrow. So perhaps, and our topic of cess with dealers is also part of the agenda. So it's important that they sit together and come to a decision quickly, because this is too big an amount for every dealer to bear. Yeah, we are working with the government and looking forward to a solution which is amicable to everyone.
Heard from any of them just yet?
We haven't heard from them as yet. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Vigneshwar, we'll chat more often, I'm sure, once you do hear back from the ministries. And of course, you know, there should be a resolution. And like you said, not every auto company can, you know, try and share the burden with the dealers. We'll chat again soon. Thank you for your time.